Yeah. So, when is when's the special election? Is it next week? For the 7th?
Let me look that up.
Can't remember. It's next Tuesday? Is it?
Well, the primary.
Primary, I mean.
I believe the primary, yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Primary will be next Tuesday.
Mega. Who's more mega than me? Megatron Mega. Can't do it anymore. I'm sorry, people. We're apologizing. He called you a douchebag, but he called him a douche canoe. He hates puppies.
And peacocks.
Everybody's like, okay, good. They're making fun of it. Yes. Look, we all know what happens, right? At this time of year. Everybody's got money to spend. They go, they spend it. And there you go. We've talked to, who we talked to? We had Bolso on, and we had Barrett on, and we had Afton on.
Yeah.
That's it. We've asked the other ones to come on, and they couldn't do it at the right time or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's all good. If you guys want to reach out, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You want to try to get on tomorrow, let Bell know. Bell, tell everybody your email so they can get you if you're a candidate.
I'll call them again.
Yeah, no, you email them because you don't have we want the weird ones. So, oh my Lord. Oh, by the way, did you see the breaking news?
What's that?
Trump has declared war on the cartels.
Okay.
He said we are now officially at war with the cartels.
Okay.
So let me tell you what's going to happen. First of all, the whole Venezuela thing is such a joke. It's about going in there. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but maybe they have oil. That's what I heard. And Maduro, he's useless, yes. You can make an argument somewhat that they're all connected to cartels across there, but the amount of stuff, as the kids would go, weight that they move is very little. And there's no fentanyl that comes from there. You would want to go to Colombia or you want to go to Mexico because that's where 99% of it comes. And Marco Rubio really wants regime change in Venezuela. Really does. So, and I'm just going to give you guys a little hint. If you're looking to buy stuff, stock and things, see what's in Venezuela that may be coming to a situation, because I think that's what this is about. It's not about, we're not going to blast anything. We're not going to fight with the Sinaloa cartel or anything. I don't think any of us would really cry over that. But, I just don't think that's going to happen. This is all about Guyana and the light sweet crude that they have and what's going on with the regime change. And then you have to ask yourself the question, would they step it up and, maybe Cuba's got drugs. Cuba, by the way, if you guys have paid zero attention to Cuba, this is some of the worst times they've ever had. I think 1 in 4 is malnourished. But you know what? They got good health care, and everybody can read. Everybody can read. So we're at war, apparently. So be prepared for that, people. We're at war. War, yeah. Somebody said it's about getting Shell's refineries back. Oh, there's a lot of that. Because Venezuela, the minute Guyana found all of the oil, and it's so Venezuela is the largest oil reserve on the planet. They're underground. A lot of dinosaurs, Ken, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of dinosaurs lived in Venezuela.
Mastodons.
Huge Brontosaurus. None of the little crappy dinosaurs. We're talking big ones. They've got more than Saudi Arabia. But it's not the greatest oil, the kind we use here. It's still refinable, still great. But what happens is light sweet crude was found in Guyana, massive, huge deposits of it. And then they said, hey, that is ours, and that's part of our land, and you guys took it, and now we're going to take it back. And so there's a lot of oil companies sitting offshore going, oh, no, you're not. That's why we have 4,000 plus Marines floating around out there. Tren de Agua is nothing comparatively to the other outfits that are out there. They're not. From MS-13, the Mexican Mafia. I mean, the Mexican Mafia was so powerful. Do you remember in the 80s? Remember all the drive-by shootings, Ken, and all that stuff you'd hear all the time? The Crips, the Bloods, and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Then the Mexican Mafia showed up and said, yeah, this is enough. And then out of nowhere, it just slowly just went quiet. different kind of thing. So, yeah, if we're
Wasn't
serious.
good for business.
For business, right? Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the five families that got together, Lucky Luciano. Said, guys, we could go out and kill each other all the time, and that's a waste of time, and nobody's making any money. Or we can all just say, we're all going to take a couple boroughs, and we're going to do this, and we're going to have, our commission, and we're just going to do our stuff and not have anybody really look at us anymore. So there you go. But the whole thing with Venezuela, this is a regime change. This is going to be a regime change. And it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But we're at war, for those of you not keeping score. We're at war. And by the way, did you see Trump yesterday talk about defending Qatar?
No.
Yeah.
As President Trump pushes for peace in Gaza, the White House is now giving unprecedented security guarantees to one of the countries negotiating an end to the war. Signing an executive order, Trump says any armed attack on Qatar will be considered a threat to the peace and security of the U.S.
No. How about you just look over and say Israel? Don't do it. You just did an Article 5 for Qatar? Qatar? I don't think we need to do that. Just tell Israel, hey, can you stop bombing our allies and our men and women are over there? Not to mention some 200,000 or 300,000 expats from Europe and us. Could you just stop doing that, please? So that was like out of nowhere. I was wondering if he thought he got wind that they were going to try to do something else over there. And he's like, we just can't. Because what would happen if Bibi bombed them again? Would we get involved? Because you just gave him security. So would we fire stuff back over there? Ooh, what a tangled web we weave. Somebody said, Chad, Ray, how about supporting the president at least for once? I'm not anti-president. He promised no more wars and none of this stuff. Did he not? I mean, that's what he said. And I don't think if we go into Venezuela, there's no reason for us to go to Venezuela. None. Zero. And we're not good at regime change. Can we just be honest? Let's look at our history. Let's just go back a decade and find out how we did in Iraq. 2 decades. It's been a nightmare. Afghanistan, there was none. So it's not anti. It's just, why do we have to get involved? How is this America's first? How does this benefit America? I don't think it does. I don't.
Well, then, isn't Qatar letting Hamas leadership live there?
Yeah, they let them live there. They let them stay there. And they let them stay there because Israel was fine with them staying there. Remember, Bibi and Israel funded Hamas for the last umpteen years, $30 million a month. They knew where they were the whole time, the leaders. So, but I think one of the reasons, if you guys want to get a little serious, Steve Witkoff and his son, while they were negotiating, were also asking the Qataris for billions of dollars for their investments. So you need to make sure that you get it. Hey, stop bombing. You said that you guys weren't going to do anything. But no, I don't want to be involved. No more wars. No more wars. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No more wars.
I don't know about blanket protection for countries that house terrorists either.
No, I don't think so. But because we have bases on there and because they're doing business, by the way, Trump's family, they've got business there. He doesn't want them getting bombed. This isn't about whether or not we like Qatar or not. It's the fact that it's useful to them. There's money to be made, and we've got, our bases there. And you're right, man. I don't know about protecting, people who've allowed Hamas, but not just Hamas. There's been several organizations that have been in and out of there.
I mean, I got to be honest. I didn't have any problem with Israel bombing that place in Qatar to kill Hamas leadership. I don't have any problem with that.
No, go ahead.
Because I didn't see it as an attack on Qatar. But I get Qatar being angry about that. But you're the ones who are letting Hamas leadership live there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But again, why are they there? Ken, because Israel was fine with it. They knew where they were. They gave them money there.
Yeah.
So that was also on them. And because they thought they, as Bibi would like to say, he thought he could control the fire, the flame. But, I think if Qatar would have been told earlier what was going to happen, I think it would have been different. But because they didn't, and they didn't really inform us.
Because it just kind of happened.
Yeah. That was the issue right there. Like Iran. Iran called us and told us, hey, we're going to be firing some stuff off to you guys. So here's the coordinates. Make sure you knock them down. Because they didn't want to escalate it. So there you go. And no, Ray, I have no problem with them going. And if they want to go and, everybody's like, well, they should go take out all the cartels. Are we going to go in their country and take out the cartels? I mean, but fine. If you want to go fight, here's the thing. Don't tell me Venezuela is super important for the drug trade. It's not. The amount of drugs that come through Venezuela is small. One of the reasons Colombia doesn't run drugs through there very much is because they want corruption. They don't want instability. Poor, desperate people will make your life hell. It's easier to buy people off. But if you're serious about it, then go to Mexico. That's where it comes from. Get serious with China, for real. China. By the way, we got to pull it up. Have you seen, speaking of China, have you seen the Chinese guy that does Donald Trump?
No.
It is so spot on. It is crazy. If your eyes were closed, you would swear it's Donald Trump. He does no politics. It's just all about China. Look at this. Look at this place here. The noodles are great. They're the fantastic noodles. You'll love them. They taste great. He's like, look, I don't want to get involved in politics. Plus, he's in China, so you've got to walk a fine line. And he goes, I did it one day as a joke. My friends dared me. And he's never been to America. And he goes, I saw Trump a few times. I just started studying him. And it is so perfect. We'll throw it up here in a little bit. Bell's like, dude, you got to look at this guy. But then the trip is, right, so you think, okay, he's a Chinese guy, the accent, what's he like? Then when they talk to him, he sounds like this. So, yeah, I totally do Trump. He's like, oh, I've never been to America. His accent, he sounds American. But it's great. It's fantastic. I tell you what, it's great. You guys are going to love it. They don't serve goat here. That's one of the things he said. I don't like goat anyways. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Lord. A lot of stuff we're still going to get to today. We got more on, what is it? The shutdown? Is that what it's called? I keep forgetting. Is it a lockout or a
shutdown?
Is it a lockout or a shutdown? That's a good one. Did the Republicans lock him out? Or did the Democrats walk out? Ooh, that's a good one. They're going to come back in the next couple days. You and I both know that. Here's what's worse for them. If people stop caring because their lives don't change so much, that government's not involved, then they're both going to start to see, oh my God, nobody cares. Everybody chose D. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. That's A and B. It's both parties' fault. C. It's we don't care. It doesn't affect my life. D. The minute D outgrows them both, they'll both rust back because they want to be wanted. They do. They want it like Lobo. I want you to want me. Coming up. Oh, that's a good one. He had to have one hit. Was that the only hit he had? Remember Lobo? You remember Lobo, Ken?
Me and you and a dog named Boo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn, that's two.
Me and you and a dog named Boo. I had a dog named Boo.
Better than Bell yesterday with his band that had 12 number ones. Yeah. That was a one-hit wonder. It was one hit that year, Chad. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit about Manchester, what's going on over there. It's an attack in Manchester, a horrible attack at a synagogue. Europe is on edge right now, and I have a feeling it's going to get spicy. We'll talk a bit about that, among other things. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Yeah. Yesterday we went to the Nashville Rescue Mission. We were talking about, like, the food handouts and stuff. And people that come there sometimes, for food donations, they're driving cars. They live in a house. They're not making it anymore. They don't have the money from going point A to point B. That's it. But point C is where they need to go. And so they need some help. And it's growing. And now, they're worried, not only here, but across the country that there's going to be, because of this, layoffs. Because you remember, there's a trickle-down effect. If the government's not working, that means people who work contractor-wise for the government and get paid, they're not going to be working. Businesses that need certain things from the government and or sell things, they're not going to be working. Not just the federal employees themselves. So this could be interesting. Living paycheck to paycheck. I think a lot of people are feeling that. And this is the economy. We say it all the time. The economy's stupid. That is the number one thing. Trump could fix everything else. The Republicans could fix it all, make the world feel great. But if the economy struggles, it doesn't matter. And everything else could go to hell in a handbasket. And if the economy is good, people are like, yeah, we're going to stick with this guy because my checks are good. So we can pretend, like, if you're a 23-year-old girl who lives at home with your mom, then maybe climate change and abortion is a very important thing. If you're 34 and you're married and you got kids and a house and bills, that's a little bit more important.
Economy.
The economy. The economy's stupid. Earlier today, there was a attack in Manchester. This is what it sounded like when they took him out.
Everybody else, get back! If you're not involved, move back! Get away! Somebody stay with casualties! Everybody else, he has the ball! Go away!
He's got a bubble, man! He's got a bubble! Mate, he's got a man, he's got a bubble on his jacket, mate! He's trying to go in and now. He's got bombs on him.
Yeah. So they didn't go off, but you're right. I was looking again. It looked like that guy was trying to trigger something or do something.
Yeah, he's writhing around, and he seems to be grabbing or for something on him. And then he actually he gets up.
Yeah.
Or not stands up, but he leans up, but then goes back down, and that's whenever he starts grabbing is whenever they end it.
And the video, there's just people standing there. It's like a little, like you'd see at a little small private school where they got the fence up and people are just like looking through it. Get away. People are so weird.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, those constables were correct in telling people to get back.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a vest that blows up, there's going to, who knows what's in it? Not just shrapnel, but nails.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That didn't happen, but still.
Nails. I mean, C4, was there, I mean, was it, and were there more? See, originally they thought he had bombs in the car.
Right.
And then they realized he didn't, but they didn't get near him for a while because, they'd put him down. And then they didn't go near him because they thought he could explode. And I don't know if it was activated or if it was real or if it was just a look. Mm-hmm. But.
And then that old guy walking by with a cane just smiling.
And it's like his wife grabs him. Get away from there.
He's just out for a stroll.
That's it. Oh, look what they're doing. They just shot a man in the synagogue. So he drove in, hit some people, got out and stabbed some people. And then he got shot. They got there pretty quick.
Yeah, they got there very quick, and it's good because I guess he was headed inside.
Yes. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, there's special units that carry guns all the time. You got to call them, though. It's kind of like, it's like a library card. You got to check them out. But they got there rather quickly, and they put him down fast, too, when they got there. They shot him the first time, and that's when he was on the ground. And then I think they thought, once he kind of got up and, like you said, fiddled around, I think they thought, let's not find out if that thing's real or not.
Right.
We'll ask the question. Don't worry, sir. We'll figure it out for ourselves. But I'm telling you, like you said, France, you're on edge. There's no doubt about that. Belgium, too, is on edge. A lot of countries are, because you've allowed mass of immigration to come into your country, unfettered access to just about anything, and people are sick and tired of it. And you've got a culture of people that do not want to become part of the fabric of who your country is and the culture is. And so this is what's going to happen, and it's going to happen more and more, unfortunately. And it's going to get ugly there, too, because I have a feeling the Brits are let's see what Farage does. I think Farage is going to end up winning the election. And I think that is going to change a lot of things there, because he's already said, we're getting people out of here, and no more people are coming in. And they got to get rid of that digital ID. Oh, what is that about? I'm waiting for it here. Chris and I talked about it yesterday. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch, Twitter, Rumble. You can like and subscribe there. Check me out as well at Chad Benson Show. This is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Check the program. Like hearing from all of you. Thousands of federal workers will likely be fired. Fired! Never come back. So you had 100,000 or so quit the other day because it was the drop dead date where if you were you had to decide whether you wanted to buy out or not, the whole Doge thing. So you had 100,000 people resign the other day. And now you got the opportunity to get rid of more people. And they're going to take advantage of it. I still find it weird that they could send you home, tell you don't have to work. And then when you come back, they pay you and you didn't work. Where the people that are a necessity, they have to work and they're not getting paid either, but they will get paid. So the people that really aren't needed, you get a vacation and paid. The people that are needed, you have to show up and not get paid until everybody gets paid. Yeah, there's an issue there. Just want to point that out. Speaking of an issue, if you guys haven't heard what's going on in Des Moines, this is crazy.
The problems for Ian Roberts, the former superintendent of the Des Moines public school system, began last Friday when ICE detained him for allegedly being in the country illegally. He announced his resignation on Monday and has faced mounting criticism for falsely claiming to hold a doctorate. He now faces a criminal case after federal prosecutors in Iowa charged him with one count of being an illegal alien in possession of a firearm. He's scheduled to appear before a magistrate judge on Thursday afternoon.
So dude was the superintendent, 30,000 kids. 30,000. He took off running. He's got an order to be removed. And you're thinking, how's he superintendent? Oh, it gets better than this. He's got an order to be removed. He takes off. He's got a gun. He's got $3,000 cash and a hunting knife. They take him into custody. He had worked in Philadelphia at some big places as superintendent, as principal. They called him doctor. He was registered to vote, but he never voted. Nobody bothered to check his status. Nobody bothered to check if any of his stuff. The schools now, one school's like, yeah, he got a degree from us, but he didn't get a doctorate. He didn't get a master's degree. And people were like, well, because the first day that happened, by Friday afternoon, people out there, hands off, doctor, whatever his name is, blah, blah, blah. He's not a doctor. He came here on a student visa and then built this life on Wikipedia. The only thing that was true about him is he's got a degree in education or whatever. That's about it. Oh, he did run in the Olympics. He was in I think it was the 800 for Guyana. It's crazy. And then now the parents are going, well, hold on a second. How did you guys not even ask for any of this? Because other places have pointed out, hey, this doesn't seem right. He's not giving us the info we need, but they let him stay. They let him stay. Why? I mean, it's insane. Dude stayed. Dude was registered to vote. Dude lied everywhere. Nobody really questioned it. And you know why? Probably because they thought, it'll be racist if I question it. Because he's from a different country. Even when they asked him last year, and here's the other thing, the cojones that the dude had to do TV interviews all the time is pretty also, that's kind of ballsy. Just flaunted it. Maybe thought he'd never get away with it. Oh, and this is his second gun charge. His first gun charge came in Pennsylvania when he had a shotgun. He went hunting, and it was in the back seat. And there you have to have, your gun has to be unloaded when it's in the car. And it wasn't. And then there was, so 2 gun charges. And now this. And he told everybody, I'm a doctor. And everybody's like, he was doing such a great job. 2 things here. either you want to think he was doing a great job or that job really isn't that hard to do. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Yeah, the thing that was crazy about watching that, somebody's like the teachers union, it's a part of it. So, it is. It is a part of the craziness of this world where they are afraid to ask serious questions. A lot of people are. Even Ken said it earlier about the guy in Manchester. He's like, he looks like it. And he goes, I don't want to sound. It's not. It's what it is. Tom Friedman, who is a super lefty for the Times, when he wrote his book, what was this? The World is Flat or whatever. It was a good book. I read it, but it's been a long time. But he went over to like Saudi Arabia and several other places, and they asked him one time, hey, why is it we get profiled when it comes to things like terrorism in America? And he straight up looked at him and goes, look, when 12 Swedes fly themselves into buildings, we'll look at Swedes different than we look at people that look like you. Right or wrong, he was just being honest. So, and these people were probably terrified to say anything because they didn't want to seem like they were insensitive and racist. They went out, picketed and formed, Mr. Roberts is great, Mr. Roberts. And then what happened? Well, come to find out, he wasn't a doctor. He lied, didn't have any of the stuff. Once everybody found out that he had guns, a lot of the parents were like, well, this is a bridge too far for even us. A smidge too far for us. Oh, my Lord. How do we get here, people? How does somebody work? That's the thing I'm always amazed. It's like the people who do sign language and don't know sign language. I am always fascinated by those people. I'm fascinated by the sheer gall to pretend to do sign language when you don't know it, as if nobody's going to see you. That to me is like once a year we find somebody who's pretending to do sign language. And they're not. They don't know sign language. They're just moving their hands around.
Like the guy that was standing next to President Obama back in the day.
Yeah, and the dude who was doing it for, was it L.A. or Oregon when they were, was it California, Oregon when they were talking about the COVID stuff? And did no sign language. None. And to have that kind of confidence that you're not going to get caught. At no time, that's what I want to ask you. Dude, at no time did you think, I hope nobody sees this?
Nobody's ever going to know.
No. Nobody's going to know. Yeah, that guy from the doctor, he was $360,000 salary.
Wow.
For pretending to be a doctor and a superintendent.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the guy arrested by ICE.
Yeah, Dr. Roberts. Yeah. What happened to the background check? That's what I want to know.
We trust him.
Yeah. Well, they probably didn't want to say anything because they thought, we're going to be racist because we keep asking him for that because he's from a different country, but he's also from here. The background checks. What happened to the background checks?
And it's in Des Moines.
Yes.
Which is, that's not a small city. It's a medium size, but it's not like it's like a little hick town.
Yeah. Yes. And and it's in the middle of the country, too. So you're thinking to yourself, of all the places who wouldn't feel bad to ask certain questions, no. And like I said, this isn't, he had 30,000 students under him. Again, not a tiny place. It wasn't one of those places where hey, guess what? We got a stop sign. It wasn't one of those. And like I said, Ken, I'm always fascinated by the people that have those kind of get up and absolutely just totally lie. He was never even a doctor.
Look at George Santos.
Yeah.
He got all the way to Congress.
Yeah, he was spectacular. I expect that out of politicians.
Well, yeah.
Remember, he was great. He's like, I was an astronaut. That was right after I won the world championship of volleyball. It was so great. Oh, my Lord. He's in jail right now, right? Didn't he end up going?
I believe so.
Yeah. He's waiting for Trump to pardon him.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know either. You know what I think is going to happen, though? And this is sad. I think Maxwell's going to get out. I think they're going to commute, or her lawyers. So the thing that's going to the Supreme Court, what they're going to listen to, this is interesting. It's kind of the Bill Cosby thing. What she was prosecuted under should have been covered by Epstein's first prosecution, is what they're arguing, which is nobody else can be prosecuted for this. Just him.
Because of technicalities.
Yeah. So, and I saw one of Trump's people last night says, look, I can't talk a lot about this, but you don't move somebody to a place like this and, not have some sort of quid pro quo with them when you're discussing stuff with them. So I'm assuming that they're going to look and see how they can commute the sentence or something. Probably get her out of here immediately. That's what they'll do. They'll commute the sentence and then deport her to London or wherever she's from, Israel. And that would be, that's just, it's awful. Awful. Judge throws out lawsuit over Naked Baby on Nirvana album. Remember that?
Yeah.
That guy sued. The judge threw it out. Finally said, what are we doing? Why are you guys wasting my time with this? What is it that you want? Please tell me. What happened in your life that you were so destroyed over this that somebody saw you swimming naked in a pool? The stuff that we clog courts up with, we need tort reform in this country. We got to start making the people that bring lawsuits like this pay for all of the court. By the way, pay for everybody. If you're a juror and you're missing work, you should have to pay for it. You'd think twice if you thought you were going to lose the case and it was still going to cost you $40,000. You'd be like, I'm not sure I want to bring this case. I'm not sure that would be, no, I'm thinking no. A lot of text coming through. A lot of you talking about Qatar. Some of you are a little worried about that as well. If you guys didn't hear about Qatar, we're going to protect them pretty much at all cost, said Trump, because we're not quite sure. Oh, because of all the investments and whatnot going on over there. Plus, they gave him a plane, remember? We forgot about that. They gave him a plane.
Yeah, where is that plane?
It's getting retrofitted? Because you have to tear that thing all the way down to its shell and rebuild it. Because you have to add all the stuff that's going to protect the president, right? They've got all those, who knows?
He's not going to get on that plane.
Yeah, that thing's never going to be done.
That'll be parked outside his library somewhere.
They should turn it into the library.
Well,
this is what Qatar gave me, was all fed. He'll keep it himself.
At least I don't think he would get on that plane.
No.
I wouldn't.
Hell no. No. But also the cost. What does it cost? What do they call it? $2 or $3 billion to retrofit it? Yeah, no. He's going to give it to his vice president, J.D. Vance. Oh, my goodness. Loser pays. That's right. That's what we need to do. Loser pays. Frivolous lawsuits. Tort reform, getting the loser, not just to pay for the inconvenience of the, and the cost to the person that you're suing, you should have to cover the cost of all of the court, including the people that showed up there, I don't care who it is and what it's, I don't care, the judge, right? Everybody, the stenographer, her lunch. Make it so if you lose, and it's frivolous, right? There's got to be a level of frivolousness. But it's lawyers, and lawyers all work with lawyers, so they'll never do that. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit. I think they got Greta Thunberg today, if you guys didn't hear. We'll talk a little bit about that. I think they boarded her ship. This will be interesting. We'll talk about that, among other things. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. They got Greta. They got Greta Thunberg.
How dare they?
How dare you?
Flotilla organizers say that an estimated around 440 people have been taken by Israeli forces, and they are now being taken to a port in Israel. They're expected then at some point to be deported. Israel accused the flotilla of trying to block a lawful naval blockade. The organizers of the flotilla point out that they were in international waters and that Israel has no jurisdiction to intercept them there.
Greta's part of it. Trump's like, look, Bibi, you don't. She's got a bad haircut. I get it. But if something happens to her, we're all going to get the blame. Don't do it. Anybody but her. We'll hear about it forever. Watch out, too, BB. She might try to paste herself to something. Yeah, they were warned to. Even the U.S. even said, don't board them. Don't do anything. And they still went and did it. So they took her. They've got her now, along with all these others. They were bringing food. Inspect it. Here's the deal. Inspect it. You don't see any guns on there. Let him float over and give food to everybody. And then, move on. And if they're in international waters like they claim, well, that's also not a good look. Because Spain and Italy now say they're not going to send anything over to Israel. They're going to have a blockade of their own. So none of the dock workers are going to be doing anything. They love going on. There was a strike today in France over the wealth tax. They strike for anything. They protest anything. Rich, they'll protest for you and against you. They don't care. As long as they have a day off of work and they get a march. Speaking of rich, $500 billion, if you guys haven't heard. Not us. We're still trying to get our first billion. But $500 billion is what Elon Musk is worth now. That is a good bit of money. You ever just like, how much cash do you carry around with you? Does anybody carry cash anymore?
I've got a $5 bill.
Yeah. Bell, you look like a cash guy. You might have got a couple bucks, no?
No, I rarely carry cash, and I would argue with one thing you said, that is not mostly money. It's mostly just stocks.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, I bet you, there was a time, even a couple years ago, when he was worth $200 billion, he didn't have any cash. He had to stay at a friend's place for a while because he just didn't have, he wasn't liquid. That's how these guys get rich. That's how you get really wealthy. The rich understand things that the average person doesn't get, and because of the access they have, they avoid paying taxes in a lot of ways. Even though they pay that 1%, they figure out ways that you were just like, what? That's amazing. It is. Coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to. People still mad about Bad Bunny. Wait till you hear now what's going to happen at the Super Bowl, which is in Santa Clara. We found that out earlier. That is in San Francisco area. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.